Okay, hello everyone. Good evening. Am I visible and audible? Okay, hi Rajesh. Good evening.
Hello, ma'am. Good evening.
Evening. So yes, we would be starting. So before starting, can I have everyone on cameras? Like those who have attended my previous classes or webinars, they know I have some issues with camera. So please, hi Neha. How are you? I was excited to see you. I thought you are
Yeah,
not
I
going to
came
come.
early. I was out, but I came early
Wow.
just for the session.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so can I have everyone on camera so that we can have a very kinky classes today? Okay, meanwhile, when you all are coming up on camera, let me introduce. I hope most of you know me and most of you don't know me. So how many of you all don't know me? Just a quick hands up. Oh, no one, at least. Okay, Aditya don't know me. Okay. Okay. So very okay, Akashya, if I'm not sure. Okay, so many. Okay, three, four people don't know me, not an issue. So, hi everyone. I am Sradhanjali Dasgupta. I'm from Kolkata. I'm a counseling psychologist, a parapsychologist, a Kink Affirmative sex therapist. So, I am also the founder of Wandering Mind by Sradhanjali, and I'm practicing since last 7+ years. It has almost been 9 years I'm practicing, and I am right now doing my PhD. So, this is a short intro about myself. I welcome you all to this Kink Affirmative Therapy webinar, which is one of the most, I believe, one of the most demanding webinar. When I talk about this in my inner child healing class, everyone is like, Shraddhanjali, tell me what is kink. So I'm like, I'll tell. So Akanksha, you can start the recording. Okay. So before starting off with the class, I just wanted to know how many of you all know what is BDSM? Any idea what is BDSM? Okay. Okay, just a quick recap. Anyone who wants to tell what exactly is BDSM or what are the types of BDSM? No one?
Good evening, ma'am. Ma'am, may
Good
I?
evening. Yeah, please, go
Yeah,
ahead.
ma'am, BDSM is basically trying something very explicit things while you are getting physicals like handcuffs or something different,
Hmm.
like role play that we can include in that, like costume play. So, like these
Handcuffs,
kind
you're
of stuff.
pulling blindfolded. Yes, absolutely right. So, what exactly is King Affirmation? Now, to become a King Affirmative Therapy, you need to be a King Affirmative Therapist, right? Now, all the sex therapists, those who are sex therapists, those who are sex coach, or those who are sex educator, we deal with King Affirmative Therapy. Now, what is King Affirmative Therapy? It's more than BDSM. Like as Aditya rightly mentioned, that handcuffs, hair pulling, some sort of blindfoldness, that is BDSM. I'm going to talk what exactly is BDSM. So it's more than BDSM. Now it's just people as a therapist, we can't tell anyone, no, you are not supposed to practice, especially to the client, because it's their preference. Like we prefer something. Akasha, you want to say something here? Okay. So the thing is that it's just the preference of the client and just the style they want to explore, and it's more of exploration. Now, as a kink affirmative therapist, we often psycho-educate them. We often talk about their hard and fast rules. Now, there are certain rules, but definitely I'm not going to talk about all the rules right now in the class because it's a very long class. It would be. So we talk about rule, we talk about consent, we talk about duration, we talk about the safety measures. Definitely we keep in mind about the measures, because when I'm going to talk about the type of kink, there is a kink which is called electrostimulation or blood play, which is very sort of fearful thing for us, but for the client it's okay. So kink affirmation is more than understanding what your client understands or what the client wants to explore. It's not limited like LGBTQ IA same as kink. It's not limited. We would be talking about some limited sort of kinky preferences of the client, but it's not limited to all these things. There are much more things. Clear what is kink affirmation? Okay. So as I was talking about BDSM, now the full form of BDSM is bondage, discipline, dominance, and submissive. Sadist, I hope you all know about sadist and masochist.
No,
Anyone?
ma'am. No, ma'am.
Okay, I'm going to talk about. So if you are a Kink Affirmative therapist, we talk about the SSC, that is the safe, sane, and consensual. We take the permission of the client so that we can make the client understand. We talk about the safety measures. We talk about the environment. Now, before entering into more vast form of BDSM and Kink, those who are highly sensitive to certain cases, I would request you to please keep my voice on mute because it can trigger some people, as I understand that. Again, not for everyone. So it's a sort of disclaimer. Now, what is B? B is bondage. Bondage, as the name suggests, is a sort of restriction. Where, for example, I prefer bondage. Okay. For example, I'm talking right now. I would want my partner to restrict herself or himself, or my partner, genuinely, it can be from the queer community. That is a sort of handcuffs, a sort of, I would tie the hand, I would tie the leg, or I would tie anything and everything. Okay, Ria is here. Hi, Ria. I just started out with the class. Don't worry. I'll explain the moment I come up. I hope you are well right now.
Not really.
Not really.
Here
See,
for
I'm
half an
shouting.
hour.
See, I'm shouting.
I know I'm like not that well, but I thought I will join for half an hour and check in what's happening, and then probably later half an hour, later timing, later 1 hour, I'll just check the video. Is something that I was thinking of.
Sure. Okay. Take care, dear.
I'm so happy she made it.
Yes, we are
Yeah,
literally
yeah,
happy.
right. She was very happy seeing me. I saw a very nice bright smile on her face.
No, we are also missing the criminal psychologist. I
Oh
don't know
yes,
whether.
he is also not well. Both of
Yeah,
us are not well.
yeah, I understand.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so bondage means where the client or the partner restrict himself or herself or to the other partner, like a sort of handcuffs. Okay. Now D means sort of discipline. Now I hope D has two meanings. Okay, discipline and dominance. Now discipline means where you are coming into a conclusion or you are giving the client or give the partner the permission that yeah, you can do whatever you want. I'm not going to stop you. That is what discipline, as the name suggests, discipline. And dominance means showing power or showing the authoritative figure, like authoritative parenting. ठीक है, that I am going to do this and this and you can't stop me. Discipline and dominance are the full form of D. S is sadist. ठीक है, anyone having idea about what is sadist? Yes, Rajashi.
Ma'am, somebody who is emotionless and is into something very obscene, like very violent stuff.
Yes. Sadist.
Finding pleasure in others' pain.
Yes, pleasure, receiving the pleasure. Like for me, for example, I love receiving the pain. So I am the masochist. But when I like inflicting the pain onto my partner, that is, I am a sadist. And what is submission is giving giving the consent to all the sort of BDSM parts. Clear about the full form of BDSM? I hope everyone is clear with this.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, at least please respond because I feel that I am not being able to communicate. Please do respond and please, I would request everyone to come up on cameras. I understand it's Sunday. So this is what I have explained. I did not read the full PPT. So do you all want me to read the full PPT?
It's fine, ma'am, if you don't do.
Okay. I have given the explanation for those who would be forgetting. Okay, now before coming up to kink, now there are lighter BDSM. Now, any idea what is lighter BDSM? Let me come over here itself. Lighter BDSM. Okay, lighter BDSM are those sort of BDSM practices. Lighter sort of BDSM are those sort of practices where the client or both the partners prefer some sort of light practices like hair pulling. Like, for example, if I like hair pulling, I would be wanting my partner to hold my hair in a very lighter portion and pull my hair back. That is hair pulling. Then is handcuffed, the one which people generally wear when they are getting arrested by a police, the handcuffs. Then is blindfold. Okay, blindfolding the partner. Then is another term which is called as light spranking. Now spranking definitely is a sort of that is sadist and masochist do go undergo, but in lighter BDSM what exactly is happening, you are doing the spanking in a very light way, in a very gentle way, so that you are not hurting the partner. This is generally the lighter BDSM. We talk or we educate the client, those who want to explore what is BDSM or what is exactly kink. Clear what is BDSM? And also there are certain sort of BDSM which is called as wax play. Definitely in wax play, I'm going to cover up mummification in the upcoming slides. Before that, I'm going to talk about H play. Any idea what is H play?
No.
Okay. So H play is something like, for me, for example, I am 31. Okay. If my partner's age is 39 or somewhere around 35, okay, we both prefer age play. So I would be preferring his age, that is 35 or 36, whatsoever, and he would be preferring my age, that is 31. And we are going to shift the role, not the role, but the age. Clear age play?
Yes,
Next, okay. Next is, yes, Rajoshi.
Ma'am, how do the couples operate with this age play? Like, how do they like communicate? I
They
couldn't
communicate, firstly for HP, we teach the client about visualization. Okay. That we would be asking them to play in the therapy in front of the therapist or the sex educator or the sex coach, whoever it is, that play the age of your partner. For me, if I am 31, I would be playing the age of my partner who is 35 or 36, the very dominant or the very cooler person. Okay, all these sort of techniques like age play, blind play, breath play, gender play, we teach the client through the process of visualization, because the moment the client is not visualizing, it becomes very difficult for the like couples or the partner to engage into all these things because it's very lighter. Next is breath play. Now breath play are those sort of play where the partner or any of the partner chokes herself or himself, literally in this way, or holds the breath, choking or holding the breath for at least 5 seconds, 5 minutes, and it can be much more. And there is a Facebook page, which not a page, sorry, it's a closed group. If you are a sex therapist, you can definitely use that group for learning purposes. So where there are Mexican therapists who talks about breath play, that there are couples in Mexico where they can hold breathe up to 10 minutes or even more than 10 minutes. It's just the power of meditations. Next is gender play. Now, what is gender play? For example, both I'm talking about the heterosexual partner right now, not the homosexual. Yes, Tara, tell me.
Ma'am, I think the slides are not moving. It is just
No,
the
I did not
introduction.
move. I did not move because that after moving, I'll be entering the kink wala. So I am completing what exactly is BDSM and much more wider version of BDSM. Then I'll come.
Yeah, okay, ma'am.
Okay. You can also include this with your school teachers. You can change.
Of course, of course.
Okay. Next, what I was talking, yeah, gender play. So, for example, I have a husband or I have a partner. My partner is a boy. So, I would be shifting my role to a boy and he would be shifting the role of him to a girl. He would be dressing up. Now, it's not a cross dresser. Okay, I'm not talking about queer right now. It's just BDSM. He would be dressing up like a girl. I would be dressing up like a boy, and then we are going to perform some sort of BDSM or intimate activities. This is what gender play is. And what is wax play? Again, a triggering alarm for everyone. Wax play, we have seen the candles, the clients or the partners generally lights of the candles, and then they try to make a wax out of that in the other partner's hand or anywhere in the body. Just the wax has been formed, and then they perform sexual activities. Now imagine, yes, Arpit ma'am, tell me.
Ma'am, how does it? I mean, I don't understand. I can't even visualize. What is it they do with the candle?
See, they are lighting on the candles, Mombatti. Okay. Now the moment, see, when a Mombatti or a candle is being lit, after 10 minutes or 20 minutes, the candle goes down. The wax has been formed. That wax, they form in the body parts, any of the body parts. Majorly, it's the genital, but anywhere it can be. And after that, they tend to derive pleasure and then they perform sexual activities with the partner. Clear
Sorry,
about?
first they make the wax and then they uh, use
Yes.
that wax, put, shift it to the body.
Yes, that wax, they are putting the mombati in the hand. For example, I am putting my, this is the candle, sorry, this is the candle. I am doing this candle in the navel of my partner or in the hand. And I'm waiting for the candle to complete it down at least for 5 minutes. And then I would derive pleasure. And then I'll perform sexual activities. But it's
So
not in the
it's
hand, it's in the genitals, either in the breast or in the penis or vagina, anywhere.
and that is so hot, right?
Yes, it's hot.
Okay. How do people find each other like this?
They find pleasure over here. That is what, because as a therapist, we can't tell them that please don't do it. That is the
Hmm.
major challenge of like waxing. Yes, that is the major challenge of us as a King affirmative therapist or a sex therapist, that we don't tell anything. It's just the process of affirmating that, yeah, but there are certain sort of safety measure we teach the clients.
Okay.
Okay. Anyone, any doubt in BDSM? Because then I'll be going to kink.
Okay, BDSM and cake is different.
BDSM is a very shorter version. Kink is a very longer version, more than BDSM.
Ma'am,
Okay.
actually, yesterday's class, you were telling that like they have some underlying psychological problems if they are into BDSM.
Hmm.
So, like, if that underlying problems get addressed, will their preferences get changed or as such?
See, if I in India, I have dealt. Okay, in India, in Kolkata, not in India, in Kolkata, I have dealt with more than 50 plus cases in all sort of BDSM area and in all sort of king affirmation area. Okay. Mostly in India, if I have seen, it's the underlying trauma. Okay, it's the wound. In the last class, I was talking about wound, and in the other inner child healing, Rajashri and Ria, if you all remember, I talked about wounds. Okay, that is for Indian scenario. Okay, as I said, wounds can't be healed up, so we can't take the chance of healing up. But in Western cultures, it's out of pleasure, it's out of exploration. That all kya hoga, it's in two different spectrum. In India you won't find any, like I won't say any, but hardly. There are so many counseling psychologists, clinical rehabilitation, but king affirmative therapists are lesser in number in India, because we don't tend, like, I'm not talking about the certification, I'm talking about the extensive care, that how we are supposed to deal with. Because we as a therapist or we as a healers also, we sometimes get triggered that are baap. So that is it. Yes, Ria, tell me.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I was just wondering, as in, what could be the rationale of a king affirmative therapist? Like, for example, in as you mentioned about inner child healer, I know that what work am I doing or what rationale I am using to get into it. Why am I learning this particular therapy
Hmm.
or this particular practitioner? और एनीथिंग, जैसे कि हम लोग फॉर एग्जांपल आरईबीटी कर रहे हैं तो हमको पता है कि रैशनल क्या है, कि व्हाट आर वी स्टडीइंग इट फॉर और व्हाट हाउ आर वी गोना यूज इट. For just a simple one, if you're learning King of Formative, what is the rationale? Why are we learning this? And how can we, like, if you can tell me in very layman words that it helps clients to deal with the pleasure part of it, or what is it like? I just want to understand कि एकदम layman words में that when I'm studying it, what is the rationale behind for me to study? Am I making sense?
Yeah, I got it. I got it. Don't worry. Don't interrupt. I got what exactly is your question.
Yeah.
So, see, the main purpose of being a King Affirmative therapist is client don't prefer in Indian scenario. I'm talking about living the Western cultures. The client in Indian scenario, they prefer coming up to a therapist who are non-judgmental, who won't judge. Number one, and they prefer who are not going to apply any sort of therapy. I remember the very first case when I handled was in the year 2017, and the client said me, "Are you a King Affirmative therapist?" That time I was not a King Affirmative therapist, so I said, "No, I'm not." The client said me, "I need a King Affirmative therapist because I don't want other therapist or I don't want you to judge me." Number one, I said, "I'm not going to judge you." The client again said me that I don't want that you are thinking about what exactly is that, because if I talk about mummification, if I talk about electrostimulation, so we in the normal sense, a counseling psychologist or even a clinical or even a rehabilitation, we don't know. I did not know what is that. The moment I came into this studies of Kink formation, when I did my diploma, I knew, okay, ye bhi hota hai. Now client says that they don't come up for therapies, they come up for they come up to a therapy session for understanding with the partner that can I perform. And that's the time we talk about safety measures, because client, they go internet pay, we are going to get everything, but the moment the clients are coming to us, we know that yeah, that is the time we are using some sort of safety measure. We are training the client in front of us. Training my matlab, we are not giving, we are talking about the light BDSM, the technique of visualization. But definitely in Indian scenario, you are not going to get client who are going to say, okay, change my preference. Because they don't want to change their preference. For example, if I'm a gay, again, if I'm gay, I don't want to change my preference or sexual orientation of being a gay. I love getting intimate with boys or with trans men. So what's the harm in that? But if I'm not, if I'm going to a other therapists who are not a queer affirmative, they might try to change my preference, that be a one or be a go into that therapy or come into that preference where you are liking like not boys, girls. I have dealt with so many therapists who says that I try to change, but changing their orientation won't help because they're not going to change. For example, I'm liking this blue color dress. So if anyone asks me that, Shraddhanjali, please change this blue color and wear something very pinkish or violet, I'm not going to wear, because for today, I have this preference. So that is my preference.
So clients, of course, fine. They're not there for wanting to change their preference, or neither can we do it. Neither
Hmm.
can we suggest it, right? We just have to be affirmative. Okay, fine. This is so. What? Why does the client come and so they just want to talk about whatever problems they're having with their partners. That's it.
No, they don't have any problem. Firstly, whenever they are attracting any sort of client, they tend to tell that this is my way of dealing with you, or this is my love language. For them, this is the love languages. They don't tell that, yeah, I'm having problem. For example, it can be in a side of, yeah, my partner is having problem. That case, we definitely help the client to come up on a very lighter version of PDSM again. But generally, the client comes to understand that what if I am engaging into a very heavier version of that. At the time, we help the client with psychoeducation and with other safety measures. Other than that, we teach the lighter version of BDSM and King affirmation.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, Tara. Bolo.
Yeah, yeah, ma'am. So this is a very hypothetical question. So
Hmm.
I was just thinking that just in case there is a client who is
Hmm.
more into, a lot of porn addiction. And he has also seen things of animals. Like there is
Hmm.
also something called as human and animal porn. And what if they want to try it, or maybe they have tried something and they are like, कि, oh, मुझे ज़्यादा पसंद है. So
Hmm.
what can be done in such a case? Because I would be like in a very bad state of mind even if I think of it. But in case such a client comes up to me, so how am I supposed to handle such a thing?
I had a client who preferred having intercourse with a cow.
Oh,
So see, I'll tell that there are certain sort of things which are not legal in India. Okay, because we are not from abroad. We are from India and we are going to deal with majorly 70% or 80% of the client coming up from Indian scenario. Okay. But everything happens under the table. We can't help. See, for example, if I like, whenever I want to perform intimate activity, I like having perfumes or a scented candle. So my partner don't prefer. So as a therapist, as a King Affirmative therapist, what you can't tell me that Shraddhanjali, please don't use perfume or please don't use any sort of scented candle. Neither you can tell my partner, okay, adjust with her. So we have to deal with that. How this scenario, like the case which I said, that perfume or scented candle can be handled. As a King Affirmative therapist, dheere dheere, we are going to ask the client that why do you don't like candles? Definitely a role of CBT comes. It's not like that. But again, we are going to take in compare of why the client is not liking, whether the client prefers the raw smell of the body, and whether this purple, like if I talk about myself, I don't prefer giving my client or giving my partner the raw smell of my body. We are going to come in a pitch that okay, one single day this candle, and other day no candle, again one single day scented candle, no candle, this way for next 3 months or for next 3 weeks. Come, do it, perform it. And definitely what I'd ask my clients to write the duration. For example, I prefer scent. Okay, my partner does not prefer scents. The day when my partner is preferring scent, I would be writing for scented day. Duration was 15 minutes. We had intimate things for 15 minutes. Without scent, it was 30 minutes. Again, with scent, for the next 2 weeks, it was 20 minutes, but not even 21. Okay. Again, we are going to increase that for 2 days, scent, and next one day no scent, again 3 days scent. So we keep on increasing, and this is not, I won't say a lifelong journey with the client, but yes, mostly for 6 months or even 3 months the client tends to adapt the method of other client.
Like exposure therapy.
Yes, exposure therapy. Who was there? Yes, Ria, bolo.
Ma'am, I'll be bouncing out and thank
Ah.
you so much. I'll be checking all the all the recording, and I got like a similar idea of what it is, and maybe later in next few things maybe I'll connect with you and get more
Don't
input.
worry, I'm going to debrief in the class of Friday,
Uh,
sorry, on
okay,
Sunday.
sure. I'll be there.
Sure.
Thank you. Take care.
Welcome, take care,
Bye.
bye bye.
See you.
Okay, clear about or any other doubt still now?
Ma'am, there's a video recording for this.
Yes, Akanksha is doing. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Actually, like, what if the clients they consider these thoughts as like intrusive thoughts?
No, 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 no. They don't consider. At least I have not seen in a span of 7 to 8 years.
And what if the person like they don't want to be a submissive anymore? So it kind of like affects their self-esteem.
See, it don't cover their self-esteem. We generally go for the switch wala portion. Switch is between dominance and submissive. So we ask the client to take the role of switch so that the client have a better idea that okay, I need to perform this and I need to do this with my partner. Definitely for that we help with switch. Clear about all the doubts? Okay.
I didn't understand this last doubt of Dr.
Hmm.
Dixit. What
Hmm.
is it? I didn't understand what was her question.
Dr. Rani, please go ahead with your question.
Actually, what I thought was like some people, their thoughts they think is like it's not my thought. I don't want this thought like that. They think that it's that an uninvited thought kind of.
So in that cases, what can we do like that? I have.
You mean to say, supposing there are two, matlab, the boy and the girl come to you, and the boy has this fantasy or something which girl is not ready to do. That's what you're saying, and you,
Yeah, not that. Like they might have like some kind of like when we also like have some kind of fantasies things, but
right?
sometimes we think that it is our own fantasies. But sometimes we think like this is not my thought. I don't want this thought on my head, but it's still coming.
You're saying as a therapist when thoughts come to in our mind when we're dealing with such cases.
Okay, we can take this Dr. Rani's and Harpit ma'am's query in the group of
Okay, okay, okay.
lifestyle healing. Okay,
Okay.
okay. Now the types of kink. Now again, I would like to mention there are much more like plus wala thing. It's not limited to my PPT. Now the very first sort of kink is praise. Now I understand. Now you all can understand what is praise, like receiving or giving compliments. But the moment there are some sort of individual, the moment they receive praise or any sort of compliments, they tend to get harder. And that the moment they start masturbating. And number one, definitely masturbation can happen. Definitely it happens in the washroom, but there are certain sort of people who tends to masturbate the moment the praise or the compliments have been given in any setup. This is what praise is. Now, when I am not going to name the corporate in Kolkata, when I did a very big EAP workshop, I saw a praise in that corporate. Then I had a word with the manager, then I dealt with that. But again, we did not reduce that because that was a very big team of corporate setup, and we had sex therapists like sexologist, so and urologist also. So we did not reduce that, but we taught the client that masturbating in front of everyone is not good, but the client did not listen because it's a sort of praise. Now just to explore that whether I was successful in treating this sort of praise, I said the client that please don't do it in front of, because it's not a very healthier form. But again, that was my very initial stage after becoming a King Affirmative therapist. So we are not supposed to, we can't change the clients. Our main agenda is not to change the client, but to help the client understand in a better way. And also, as if you are doing, if you all are having a team of sexologists or a urologist, the moment praise or compliments have been taken or given, they tend to masturbate in such a way that the upper layer of the skin of the penis, they tends to hard because it's so hard they masturbate. In fact, it's not only for boys, the same thing happens for girls also. They tend to do they tends to finger in such a way, like fingering in such a way that blood comes out. Again, for some, I understand it can be triggering, but please bear with me. I'm not giving any sort of my own cases example because I had dealt with so many huge cases. If I give on, you people can feel very uncomfortable, I understand, and hence I'm not giving.
Yeah, so there is a case wherein the child uh, takes a candle and all inside the vagina,
Hmm.
or she takes comb inside the vagina, or uh, or she plucks the hair of the vagina.
It's trichotillomania. If she's plucking the hair of the vagina or the intimate area, it's trichotillomania.
Spelling?
Uh, I am writing it down. It's a sort of OCD. It's C. I wrote it C. It would be T. Okay. I believe
Sorry.
you can understand. It's a sort of OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. It comes under that. If you check with DSM or ICD.
Sorry, I couldn't see the
Yes.
spellings.
Dr. Rani have written it. I wrote C. Dr. Rani gave the exact spelling. Thank you, Dr. Rani.
How do I check on the mobile this chat?
Okay, do message me personally. I'm going to give you the form of
Okay.
trichotillomania and a book which is associated with trichotillomania. Trichotillomania generally comes from trauma issues, depression. Majorly trauma. Okay. Clear with praise. Okay. Next is degradation kink. Now, this is a very good form of kink which I have seen. Now, I'm not going to talk about my own cases, what I've seen, but these are the sort of kink where they are sexually aroused when anyone is uh, criticizing some other people. Like, for example, I am criticizing my partner, and my partner is on a spectrum of degradation. He would get harder and harder. A sort of humiliation. For example, if I say anyone, you all are not looking good, you would definitely leave the class. Honestly. Okay. But if someone is of this spectrum, they are not going to leave the class. Again, it's a sort of example. No, I'm not going to mean anyone. For example, okay, let's chalo my example. I can give. I am a degradation. If someone says to me, Shraddhanjali, today you are looking just like a cow or a pig or a dog or a horse, I'm going definitely, I would be hard on myself. I would have goosebumps and I would start fingering. Clear degradation king. In fact, this sort of king I have seen in like one of a very cute wala case. Both the couple, they are the queer couple, they were the queer couple. They both were on a spectrum of degradation. They used to spit on others in front of everyone, and then they used to get harder. And this A partner would help the B partner to masturbate, and B partner would help the A partner to masturbate. Clear about degradation kink? Now the last wala, yes, Aditya, tell me.
Ma'am, I have a question. Like, is there something like if suppose like two couples are into BDSM and like they are using whip and wax all over the things? So like, is there any chances that when the next morning the man wake up, so he like when he sees her partner, like usko dekh le, like he feels regretted, ki, like oh like there are bruises, I have done something wrong. Like, is there any scenario like that? Like फिर वो
कभी
self
कभार
doubt
या
पे
कभी
question आ
कभार
जाता
होता
है.
है कभी कभार होता है It's not that it's not at all the case. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't happen. Again, if it is happening, that the time also we help the client, like both the partners or both the couples, to engage in a very safety measure that the moment wax has been given, you have some sort of ice bags. Definitely, we teach all this. Either any sort of ornaments which are related to burns and everything, we teach them. बट कभी कभार आदित्य वट एवर यू सेड इट होता है ऐसा नहीं जो नहीं होगा होता भी है there was a song I forgot in that song this sort of kink I would definitely share the link and the last wala line Shibraj I'm coming to your question so and the last three lines an example which I have written the table wala thing I have gone through this case and hence I wrote it down now this was a case not of a queer couple again a very straight couple the husband used to prefer as if the wife was a table and at the back of the wife like this portion he used to eat his dinner I wrote the full meal matlab dinner and he taught like the husband taught his daughters to have exactly the way he used to treat his wife but it's not a thing that they are humiliating but it's a yes yes Tara yes I have seen, okay, I would come up to a very real case of degradation. This is my hand, okay. Now I'm not talking about the exact scene which took place or the client which set me. Now, if I speak over here, definitely no one is going, even I'm not going to get that sort of you other thing, okay. But it happens in that spectrum that my husband or my partner is spitting and I would be drinking that sort of spit. Again, a sort of degradation, again, a disclaimer. This couple, they were around 25 and 26, 25 to 30 between that age. Now this husband have a habit of digging the nose, okay? And whenever he used to dig the nose, whatever materials used to come out, he used to give that materials in the hand of the wife and the wife used to eat it up. Dr. Rani is like, "Arey mat bolo." Okay, I'm not going to tell. So these are the sort of degradation. very extreme cases I have seen. Yes,
Yeah,
Dr.
actually, a colleague of mine, actually, he was like very into the King's like he prefers watching porn that like that lady wants to like defecate on the man's face. So he's kind of into the King, and I was like very shocked. Like, is this kind of Kings and all exist or what? Like,
It exists. Again, a small example of a one of a very real real case and a very recent case. Though it's not the very first case, on Monday I received a client, both the couple client, husband and wife, around 45. Client husband was 45, wife was 42. They had a very good relationship throughout, but they are not, unfortunately, due to certain issues. The moment the wife tends to conceive, she has miscarriages, and she, after three times, she did not try. She then they adopted a baby. Now they came back to their intimate lifestyle. They feel that yeah, that is somewhere missing down due to this sort of miscarriages. Now the husband said me that Shradhanjali, do you know? And they are like, they don't call me ma'am and something. And they were my very old couple. They came up for like counseling session, then child counseling sessions, and then now for kink session. They said me, Shradhanjali, do you know? I said, what I know, tell me. And I was very interested. They said me, like the husband said me, I like to eat, like particularly take out the white discharge of my wife, and I like to taste that white discharge every single day. Now the white discharge has certain sort of colors. Now I am not going to into the colors because that is a sort of gynec problem which the wife was going through. But whatever, no matter even it's white, yellow, whitish, yellowish, or a sort of pinkish, the thickening also doesn't matter, but the husband likes eating that sort of white discharge. Okay, I understand. It's a very, yes, Rajesh, tell me.
Ma'am, Ved just texted me that he wants to join. Is he trying to join?
No, 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 no. He is not joining. He did not join.
Oh, okay, ma'am.
Hey, Kelna, the criminal psychologist, I want to listen to his opinion about all this sort of thing.
Yeah, I'm telling him constantly, but since he's not well, I'm not forcing him. But I just insist. I just dropped him a text that if you're well, then you may try. You
No,
may
no,
try
he did
joining
not
the
come
class.
up. He did not come up.
Okay, ma'am. Okay,
Okay.
ma'am.
Tara, that is the thing. See, what exactly happened if I tell the husband that please don't drink, like eat it or drink it, he would slap me. Even for him, I am the best healer and the best therapist. He is not going to listen because that is a sort of preference. Again, I'm talking about preference. In King affirmation and in queer affirmation, it's a sort of preference. Okay, I know it's getting harder with degradation. Yes, Shivraj, tell me.
Yes, ma'am, I have a doubt actually.
Hmm.
Um, you said like people do sexual acts in social situations, right? Like some would masturbate.
Hmm.
Like
Who is one?
I have seen cases in Delhi Metro where
Hmm.
they do like that. So, is there any pathological basis like exhibitionism or something?
No, no, no. Please don't
Or
confuse with sexual disorder. It's nothing to do with sexual
okay,
disorder.
okay. So we don't pathologize that, right?
No, no, no. We are not going to give any sort of label that whether the client is having this disorder or not. It's just the preference. The moment they are getting harder, it's just the preference.
Also, ma'am, I want you to know that
Hmm.
couples come wherein the husband has the or one of the partners has the fantasy, but the other one doesn't adhere to it, and then they want to your help in that.
I did not get your question.
Supposing you gave that example of a table thing, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So, supposing the husband likes it, but the wife refuses to do it.
Hmm.
Okay, so do they come to you that, okay, I expect this thing out of my wife or something?
Yeah, when they
And if
come,
the,
and if the wife is not liking, we
yeah,
generally tell the on a very lower version that do it with your hand. Firstly, with her hand, I asked the husband to have some sort of miniature plates or miniature glass. Firstly, with hands, then in the elbow, over here, then in
Hmm.
the stomach, then in the chest, and then at the back.
Okay, okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Right. I understand people are getting confused. Don't worry. Now I'm here more here to confuse you all. Yes, Aditya.
Ma'am, I have a question.
Huh?
Like consuming body fluids is like quite normal. So how is it related to kink?
See, it's normal, but again, if a wife is menstruating, it's not normal. And that time consuming any sort of fluid, it's not normal.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Then is electrostimulation. Again, a disclaimer, warning sort of thing. Now, these are those sort of kink where one of the partner prefers giving electric shocks to the other partner. Generally, the shocks are in the vaginas or in anywhere in the genitals, in the vagina or in the nipples. I have gone through more than 20 plus cases on electrostimulation. Now, again, I would be very honest, hardly 5 to 6 cases in Indian scenario, honestly, mostly in Western scenarios. Because in India, I won't say that it's very common, but it's common definitely. But they don't talk or they don't come up because they are not aware that yeah, it's legal or something. I'm not talking about only legal. Yeah, Ved is right now over here. Maza kar lo. Hi Ved, good evening.
Good evening, ma'am. So
Ah,
sorry, my
chalo.
apologies. I just came
No,
a bit
no, I
late.
understand. I understand you were there in the seminar, you were there in everything. I understand. होता है criminal psychologist कभी कभार लेट हो जाता है.
Thank
Understand.
you.
My apologies that I started a little early.
Thank you
I
for
understand.
understanding, ma'am.
Okay, don't worry. Previous का जो है, I am going to give a wrap up. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now again a disclaimer. Wait. Oh no, he won't get triggered because he is a criminal psychologist. Huh. Good, good, good. Okay. This is electrostimulation. Now, the moment electric shocks are given, now even if you are getting a shock, how do you feel? Anyone? How? What is the reaction?
Very painful.
Very painful. Any other reaction? Who feels that yeah, it's very joyful? No one? Exactly, it's for us. It's very scary. Okay, Sneha says it's very scary. Yeah, it's very scary. But for the one who are into this preference of electrostimulation, they don't give a very smaller shocks. It's like shock ke baad shock, shock ke baad shock. And the time interval can be from 5 seconds to 5-10 minutes, starting from 5 seconds to 10 minutes. Now, again, you all need to understand it's a sort of preference, not a disorder. Please don't cry because I used to cry first. I used to feel pity on the clients. Then I was like, Are they are helping me out. That Shraddhanjali, take it. One of my clients said me, Shraddhanjali, have an electrostimulation from your partner or within yourself, and then you are going to learn what sorry, what exactly is the happiness. It's not happiness, honestly. Now, there are some sort of, if you all Google it, not Google, if you all go through Amazon or any sort of online shopping app, you all can see electrostimulation comes up in a very like a sort of rod, okay, and a charging rod that they charge it. Blue and red, yeah, blue color rod or red color rod. Am I right with the one which for which shocks are given?
Oh, yeah, somewhat. Correct.
Hmm. So that is where electrostimulation, and they generally don't give it in the head because they are not the criminals. Okay, they prefer giving it around the genitals or around the nipples. Or kabhi kabar, if people want to explore, I had a client who said me, Shraddhanjali, I want to explore this side. So I had to teach them that give over here, just over here, a very shorter span, and then take back. Or someone said me, like one of my senior therapist living abroad, she said me, श्रद्धांजलि इधर पे बोल के देखो, neck पे. Because taking stimulation or electric shock around the vagina is pretty difficult.
Also, ma'am, have you seen cases wherein supposing one partner has this fantasy of whether it's electrostimulation or any other thing, and the other partner refuses to do it, and like he or she is not coming to terms with that. So, and then they part ways or something like that. Have you
No,
seen?
no, the parting away don't happen, honestly. Or I did not see. I won't say that it don't happen, but I have not seen. But yeah,
Mhm.
it's like I prefer and my partner is not preferring, and that's the case. I said that idhar pe dekh, like we tell them, go for a very small shock over here, idhar pe.
Huh. So, if you have dealt with such cases,
Hmm.
means you have told them how to reduce, start from the lower level and slowly increase it, like. But that has worked for them.
Yes.
Okay.
After
Okay.
4 session, like the client, I said, the original client, like the original, matlab the one who prefers electrostimulation, I said
Right.
the client to give it over here of the other partner and
Mm-hmm.
see the reaction. If it did not work out, I would have definitely asked him or the client to give it over here. And that was a normal case.
Okay.
Okay. Next is mummification. Please don't get scared. Leaving Ved because he is a criminal psychologist. Now, let me introduce everyone to Ved. He is a top notch criminal psychologist. He is not in Instagram, but still his profile is on Instagram. And he was a very cute wala student of mine and a friend of mine who is very popular among Indian therapists or in Kolkata therapists. Okay. So, Ved is like, Are bus bhi karo. Okay, so mummification is a sort of preference. I hope most of you, he went off. Okay, we all have seen mummies, the way which I have depicted over here, only leaving the nostrils. Yesterday, I hope I have said in the inner child class, Rani ma'am and Harpit ma'am, do you all remember Neha ma'am, that about mummification?
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Only
you
leaving
too.
the nostrils, the whole body is covered with crepe bandage. And not only a one single cover, it can be a very thick cover, not a thin one, a very thick cover. And then they derive some sort of intimate preferences, and they that the time they perform sexual intercourse.
So it's basically nostrils and the vagina or whatever, right?
Yes, either the vagina is left or the penis is left open and nothing else. Clear what is mummification? Okay.
Yeah.
Now is sound kink. Now this is very common in Kolkata or even in India. I have seen more than 50 plus cases in sound kink itself in Kolkata and in India. How many of you have heard of certain sort of sounds which are related to some sort of intimacy, like ah wala sound? I am not making that sound originally, like a sort of sound which tends to arouse. That is a sort of sound kink. Now it can be anywhere in the TV, okay? Or anywhere. For example, if they even hear a sort of sound in the mobile or on the mobile or in the road, they are hard enough. And they use some sort of like it's a not a bubble gum but a sort of gum, like gum sort of thing, which the moment they are pouring, like they are putting inside the mouth, it's a sort of bubble wala thing which happens inside the mouth. And it's very, you can also google it and get it, like I'm not telling anyone, but yeah, you all can see it. So what generally happens, the moment they are hearing the sound, they are not masturbating, okay, they are not performing any sort of sexual activities, but instead they are using that sort of gum. Clear what is sound kink?
So in such cases, there's some gum, and then they use that when they get aroused, right?
Yes, yes, that gums also have certain sort of sound the moment they are being inside the mouth, in the tongue especially. Yes, Tara. You are on mute. अरे म्यूट तो खोलो.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, Abhi, because I understand you are there with your children. Na, I understand. Bolo.
Yeah, so I was talking that maybe this also includes ASMR, kind of voice clips that
Yes,
I've
any
seen
sort.
that people following. Maybe, the arousal of certain noises is something which they follow, even if they are alone or maybe with a partner.
Yes, 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 yes. And also, I would like to take only one case, but not much. This client of mine, he had recorded his like partner's voice in his phone and had given that sort of voice as a sort of ringtone. Okay? Now, whenever phone used to ring, that sort of voice used to come, and he used to apply that sort of gum, like that's basically a sort of bubble gum sort, but in a very like that, it's a sort of dust particles. Exact name I don't know. And the moment they pour inside the mouth, again that sort of like sound pops up. So basically, this is a sort of pleasure, but they don't perform any sort of sexual activity, no masturbation, nothing. Clear?
Yeah, this is more relatable.
Yes. Now, cook holding. Now, anyone, please don't get me wrong. I'm not telling this is a part of cook holding. Cook holding are those sort of kinky preferences of a client where the partner prefers that my partner is having sexual activity in front of me with other women. For example, A and B, okay, my partner, let me take an example. I am myself, that is, I am Sradhanjali, and my partner's name is Shah Rukh Khan. Okay. Now I prefer because Shah Rukh Khan is my wife, husband. No, 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 no. Shah Rukh Khan is not my husband, but a sort of.
Ma'am, please, ma'am. Ma'am,
Okay.
not Shah Rukh Khan, ma'am, please.
Ah, I understand. Okay, not Shah Rukh Khan, Salman Khan. चलेगा ठीक है. So I am myself, ठीक है, I'm Shraddhanjali and my partner is or my husband is Salman Khan. Okay, I would prefer Salman Khan having sexual activity with Aishwarya Rai in front of me. I would be literally seeing everything. It's a sort of example, but the main aim is that I, where the partner, we went off after smiling, where I am seeing my own partner having some sort of physical intimacy or sexual intercourse with other partner in front of me. I would be there. It's also common in India. But again, it's now no extra sort of thing.
No extra meaning?
No extra meaning, no certain sort of like you are not cheating me.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's with my permission that yeah, you can have sex, but in front of me. That is a consent which I give to my partner.
Okay, okay.
Yes, Tara.
Ma'am, don't you think this is something which requires a lot of emotional intelligence to be okay with you and your partner going somewhere else or having one more partner? Because I feel it requires a lot of confidentiality, a lot of guts to even understand or think of this. Or mainly in the Indian context, it's like, am I not enough for you? Or why do you need to go to some other person? So I feel this is something which requires a lot of confidence to deal with such things.
See, honestly, I'll be very honest. I have seen more than again 50 plus of cookholding in Indian scenario and in Bengali scenario also, but and within my friend circle also, leaving my therapy setups and leaving my affirmation, all in my therapy like in within my friend circle also, where both my friends are not cookholding, but the husband was a cookholder, okay, and he communicated everything very honestly to his partner like husband was my friend, girlfriend wife was not my friend, but okay chalta hai. The moment they got married, I became their friend. Now the wife said, okay, you can have, I won't mind, but not in front of me. I won't entertain that. But again, the husband communicated in a very clear form that no, I'm not going to cheat you because if I take my partner to somewhere in the hotel or anywhere in other stuffs, you might feel bad. So I want you to be present. You would be in a chair. You are going to observe everything. Definitely, my friend communicated. I am telling in this way, but that communication took for more than 6 months. And then the girl agreed that, okay, theek hai. And it's not a one day scenario. एक दिन में it did not happen. It was almost for 6 months when the husband was telling the wife was not was not giving the permission. But after 6 months, they gave the permission, like the wife gave the permission. But in general scenario, whatever I have seen, people are okay with that. I once, when I in the very initial stage, I asked the girl that, don't you feel that you are somewhere getting out, or won't you have a sort of guilty feeling? He said me, no, no, I won't have, because I love that my partner communicated me in a very crystal clear manner. He is not ditching me. That's the term people generally like utter in cook holder as the cook holding and the cook holders. They are the sort of enablers. Now again, what are enablers? We had explained what are enablers. He's on a chewing gum mode.
Ma'am, before that, I have a really intense question. Can I ask?
हाँ बिल्कुल. I am
So,
bound to
ऐसे
answer.
yeah, so as you mentioned about cuckolding, ma'am, is it so that उनका उतना रिलेशनशिप फिर थोड़ा ब्रेक नहीं हो सकता है, उसमें दरार नहीं आएगी रिलेशनशिप में, मतलब इमोशनल अटैचमेंट का क्या फिर?
See, the cases mostly John I have seen, whatever cases, I did not like the client or the couples did not say me that yeah, we have a sort of breakage and then again we bonded. They are quite okay. Honestly, I have seen, but for my friend's case, what I have seen, after the husband performed, they did not took divorce, but they were emotionally okay, but they did not had any sort of physical relationship after that. At least for my friend case, I can see in two different spectrum. But it can see, if you ask me, I am okay with nothing. It okay, not okay with nothing, matlab, especially with holding. Because mostly we all are from Indian scenario, and our thought process is जो मेरा है वो बंदा मेरा ही है. I can't
Hmm.
share. In fact, it can be people can term me as over possessive. Definitely, I am over possessive. जो मेरा है वो मेरा ही है. I can't share my partner with anyone. But yes, definitely, if my partner comments does something wrong, I would have a trust issue, but not at that level. But cook holding, I can't appreciate. But in India, I have seen more than 50 cases in India itself, 50 plus cases. But others, likely five or six, but cook holding and electrostimulation, than 50 cases. Ha, Rajashri.
Ma'am, months ago, I have heard an interview which a lawyer was doing with a male, what to say, escort. So he
Hmm.
was saying that it is very common. This cook holding is very common for upper class people. Like they are very much okay with it. They insist the male escort to get involved with their wives, and then they join later, like something like that. In an
Yes.
interview, it was very much well explained. I have seen it on YouTube.
Yes, the cases which I have seen, like I said right now of Indian scenario, they were the political leaders, the celebrity, like the Tollywood celebrity, some from Bollywood. Now, Bollywood doesn't mean the actress. It can be, I'm talking about the director, I'm talking about the producer. Two or three were the fashion photographer, two were a very good friend of so-called, I'm not going to name the designer, but he is one of a top-notch designer in the entire world. So yes, cook holding can be a sort of celeb background or glamorous light. But again, my friends wala, because he belongs from a very mediocre family like all of us, but he performed. And not only he, in my group, at least two or three I have seen, not seen matlab I was not the visualization, but they said me and their partner communicated, yes Shraddhanjali, we had to agree because just for the betterment of our relationship. But again, I have a question mark on this, that how legal it is. Now, as I said, nothing the kink preferences, if I talk about Indian scenario, or if some sort of books can be written, nothing is legal. Performing sexual activity with animals, performing sexual activity with others, I feel it's not legal. But again, hota hai na, everything happens down the line. But yes, there are recent podcasts also, which Dr. Niyati, like Dr. Niyati is a lawyer, Supreme Court lawyer. Dr. Niyati did a sort of podcast where cook holding, she brought the circumstances under cook holding, but again, she likely mentioned no divorces are like jot it down. Divorce नहीं होता है. Like I don't know, but people generally says. Now, wait, what is enabler?
So, someone who makes something possible. I mean, is it correct?
बोलो
Someone
बोलो.
who, someone, a person or something, person or a thing makes something possible to make helps in executing it.
Hmm. So cook holders and enablers are quite similar. Like those who have attended my inner child healing classes, they knows cook holding, what is enablers. So cook holding and enablers are quite on a similar space. Clear about cook holding? Now again a triggering thing, blood play. Now these are, please don't get triggered. I'm not getting triggered because I have seen. Now again this blood play in Indian scenario, they are not common, but yeah, more than 20 plus cases I can come up with. Now, generally, if you are searching like Amazon or Flipkart, you are going to get false teeth, like the one which drags have. Okay. Now, in blood play, what happened? They are engaged into blood, drinking the blood of the other partner. What is exactly now? They are going to cut the wrist of the partner. They are going to drink the blood either from here, like I can't explain what that teeth are called. Mm, like a sort of churel wala teeth, they get it from Amazon. And yeah, in they
Vampire teeth.
vampire teeth, exactly. And then they suck the blood from either from here, or from the vagina during during menstruation. सब कैमरा ऑफ कर दिया अभी. Okay, I understand it.
This is so heavy to digest.
Yes, it's heavy. Now, when I did my training, it's right now very common because people are training. But when I did my training, I was like, मेरे को छोड़ो class से बाहर जाने दो. Because it was an offline training, and my mentor gave it was not only the example. See, I am talking about example and the case studies. Like whatever cases I did, he has shown the video of his clients, and I was like, oh shit. But in Facebook, there are groups of blood play. Recently, I got in touch with a couple. They said me, Sradhanjali, I love drinking my partner's blood from every part of the body. Again, we teach how to drink the blood. खून चूस ले. It's not a खून चूस ले wala thing, but yeah, we teach them. Sure. We teach them in the form of helping the clients. See, I can drink, but see, it happens now. Again, a thing can come up that Sradhanjali, I can drink my own blood. Whenever my hands get cut, we are like, ye normal hai. But if someone asks me to drink my partner's blood, I'm like, oh shit, go out. Now, again, there is a safe line between your professional life and your personal life. I am okay in my professional life. I can hear stories, I can give them advices, I can help them with sterilized things and everything. But in personal life, I'm not okay. Because before this class, I'm not going to tell. Someone had Googled that what exactly is kink and all. He asked me, Sradhanjali, are you okay in your personal life? So I thought of clearing it in this class that I am okay in my professional setup. The moment I'm out of my hospital, I'm out of my clinic, I am not okay. Because there is a safe line between my personal life and my professional life. Clear what is? And yeah, in YouTube you can get blood play in a very common manner. If you all Google what is blood play, you all can get. Clear what is blood play?
Yeah.
Okay. So this was all about it. Now, just for Ved. Ved, from where did you join? Degradation, I believe, right?
Degradation नहीं हुआ. Sorry. ये नहीं. हाँ.
Electrostimulation.
Electrostimulation.
Okay.
हाँ.
So just a quick wrap up for not only Ved, for all of you all, for those who would be getting confusing. Now, what is King affirmation is more than BDSM. Okay? Now, in King affirmative therapy, or as a King affirmative therapist, we don't tell the client that no, please don't do it. Okay? We encourage the client, you can do it, along with all the safety measures being taken. As a King affirmative therapist, we teach the client what are the safety measures, like having a sort of cotton, any sort of antiseptic cream, uh, ice bags, every sort of thing. But we don't have in our setup. We just teach the client. Okay. Now, what is BDSM? I hope you know what is BDSM, but still I'm wrapping up. What exactly is B? B for bondage, a sort of restriction. Okay, where handcuffs are being applied, or a sort of, along with handcuffs, leg cuffs, and a sort of blindfoldedness are being done. Then is D. D for discipline and dominance. Discipline means obeying the rule, whatever my partners are saying, or whatever my partner is saying. Okay. Dominance means having or showing the power, a sort of authoritative figure. Whatever I'll say, you have to do. So I am on a spectrum of dominance. And submissive means I am very cool. Okay, I can do it. But again, a term is there. M, masochist and sadist. Okay? Sadists are those sort of individuals who like inflicting pain on others. For example, I like beating you up, and I derive like pleasure from that. I like biting your hand. I derive pleasure from that. And masochists are the ones who give the permission that whatever you want, you can do with my body. Okay. Now there are, before this was the explanation which I have written, because for most of you all it would be difficult. Now a lighter version of BDSM. Okay, people, those who want to explore what exactly is BDSM, we go with a lighter version. What are the lighter version? Hair pulling, like pulling, like holding the hair in this manner or any other manner, whatever the clients are comfortable with, and pulling it in a very gentle manner so that the partner is not getting hurt. A lighter version. Handcuffs, like handcuffs in any color, again, just for the sake of practicing. Blindfolded. Now, not spanking or anything, but in a gentle manner, you are blindfolding me, or the client is blindfolding the other couple, and they are performing any sort of intimacy. I'm not talking about intercourse right now. Intercourse means vaginal intercourse or oral sex. Sorry. Sex means either vaginal or oral. But over in the lighter version of BDSM, it's only the oral sex, no vaginal sex. Okay? And then other lighter spanking. In lighter spanking, what happened? The client or the couple is spanking in a very lighter version or in a gentle version so that no fingerprints are being left over in the body, or the client or the couple is not getting hurted. There are other sort of plays also which we include. Number one is the breath play. Abhi kaun? Abhi खुशबू आया. वाह, खुशबू.
हेलो मैम.
वाह, देखो. हाय भगवान.
सो सॉरी.
कहाँ से आया तू?
अरे मेरा रिसर्च का काम चालू है.
अभी आएगा वैलेंटीना, वैलेंटीना, वैलेंटाइन.
वो आ रही है 2 मिनट.
देखो. हाय भगवान. Okay, I'll explain again. So those who all feel, you all can leave after that. Don't worry. Wow, wow. Clap for you people. That is the reason you all are criminal. देखो वेद भी clap कर रहा है. You all are criminal psychologists for that reason. I understand. Sneha is also clapping. Wow. Myself, I'm also clapping. Okay. Then other forms of play. Khushbu, don't worry. I'm going to explain. Let Valentine come. I'm going to explain again. So what is breath play? A sort of play where the couple or any of the partner holds the breath, like breath for 10 minutes, 5 seconds to 10 minutes. It can be as per the client requirement. Okay? Or just holding your breath in this way without inhaling and exhaling. Next is the gender play. Gender play is that sort of play where I am playing the role of my partner. That is, I have my husband. I am playing the role of my husband, and my husband is playing the role of me. He would be dressing as if I am dressing. He would be wearing all the bikinis, applying makeups, but again, not cross-dresser. That is something different. Cross dressing is just for sort of pleasure. He derives. If I was a cross, Valentine, happy Valentine Day, everyone.
Hello. Hi.
Hi.
Are you cannot see me? Okay. Hi. Oh, I missed everyone. अच्छा हमारे साथ और लोग भी ओके.
हमारे साथ और लोग भी है वैलेंटाइन.
Sorry.
Not an issue. I understand. I understand. Okay, guys, please don't think anything. They were from my previous batch and they are not like my student. They are like my friends. And hence this is happening. So kindly bear with this whole thing. Yeah, Khushbu is like this. I'll wrap up for Valentine and Khushbu after this. Let me wrap up, okay, for Ved. Because you three came up later. Criminal psychologist again. Okay. Next is the general, okay. And what is the difference between cross-dresser and gender play is just that for cross-dresser, if I'm a cross-dresser, I would be doing it for my own pleasure, not for the pleasure of others. But when I'm doing gender play, I would be doing for the preference of my partner, anyone. It can be my queer partner or it can be my heterosexual partner. Okay, then is the age play. For example, my age is 31 and my partner age is somewhere around 35. So I would take the age of my partner, that is 35, and my partner would be taking my age, that is 31. And we are going to engage in some sort of sexual activity. This is what BDSM was all about.
But, ma'am, my question is, even if you are interchanging your, you're imagining to be 35 and the other one is imagining to be 30, but how much is the difference in that sexual preference in 5 years? You
See,
understand
I
what
just gave an example of 5 years. For example, the moment I become 35, I would try to exert more pain on my partner. What I could not do when I was 31. I could come up if I talk about, I understand you can't be comfortable with sexual or Kama Sutra. If I talk about the Kama Sutra positions, I can do whatever my partner preferred or I preferred. If I, like for example, there are so many stigmas which are associated with chair technique. Now, chair technique is a sort of sexual position. I'm not going to explain, you all can Google it. But yeah, I'm coming up with a Kama Sutra course on my own self because there was a huge demand for Kama Sutra, Kama Sutra, Kama Sutra. So next year, not this year. So what is chair pose? I would be sitting like any one of my couple, or either the couple would be sitting in a posture of a chair and the partner would be on the chair. Like this is my chair, I'm sitting. And exactly in this way, chair pose happens. So for there are certain sort of stigmas which are associated with chair pose. For example, okay, that a girl can't be a chair. So when I'm preferring the role of my husband or I'm changing the gender or the age, I can easily perform that.
Okay, so by age you actually mean not only age specific, whatever fantasy the partner has, you enacting that. That's what you
Yes,
mean.
yes. Okay. Any other questions in King Affirmation? Now, please don't ask me from where I did the course. I did it from Delhi, Gurgaon. The trainer died. Now, I am not happy my trainer died, but yeah, luckily I'm happy because she was one very good, like not good, bad trainer. She used to scold me because I was the hot targeted student of her because I used to ask about Kama Sutra. I used to ask about condoms and everything. So, leaving that, but yeah, I miss her. Whatever I learned is just because of her. And there are so many others thing also, like which is called as golden shower, where partners prefer drinking the urine of the other partner. It can be in general language or when the partner is masturbating with the semen or when the girl is on the menstruation with the blood coming out.
Okay, I think what I understood was it was they like to be showered with the urine instead of
It,
drinking.
it can be in both way. Like drinking
Okay.
also. I have seen drinking, but showering can also be there. Okay. Clear about what exactly is king affirmation? Luckily, Lydia is not there, unfortunately, because she was the one who said, Miss Sradhanjali, come up with king. Okay, don't worry. Whoever had missed, I would come up in January itself. I would do again a post, like a webinar. Khushbu is like, yeah, don't worry. I'm not going to leave you right now. I'm going to explain what I did in the class. Okay, any questions till now? So many people and like they are like, "Arey, mere ko hazam hone do. I need a digestive things." I understand.
Very true. Okay, and ma'am, what about this cook holding me? Who's the cook holder and who's the cook holdee?
Cook holder is someone who is like, for example, I can be a cook holder. Okay, I am going in that process, and cook holder is my husband who would be performing that, like sexual activity with other partner.
Okay.
Okay, so before I end this class, can I have everyone on camera? But Khushbu, Ved, Rajesh, you all don't leave. Let others leave, then we can have a discussion. And yes, Valentine 14 February, don't leave. Can everyone please come up on camera so that I can click a picture? And yes, definitely in the, okay. So anyone who wants, please come up on cameras so that I can have these beautiful faces of king affirmation. Okay, I'm clicking. Are you all please smile. I understand it was very tough. Again, Tara is like, no, मेरे को smile ही नहीं करना है. I understand. Okay, I am clicking 1, 2, and 3. Yes, I clicked it. I am going to give this in the picture in the WhatsApp group. So those who want, you all can leave, and those who want a pre-recap, you all can stay. No worry. Sneha, कहाँ गया स्नेहा? अरे स्नेहा, शिव शंकर.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Neha.
Bye.
Bye. Good night. Sneha. Listen, guys,
Yes, ma'am.
what she did. I dispatched all the certificates. Tanya was like, Akanksha, you can stop the recording. And you can upload in the Google Drive and send me the thing so that with a downloading option so that people can download. After 24, welcome. And after 24 hours, you can delete the recording. She